I feel like it's raised the professionalism of our service. I think it's made our lives easier. It saved us time. And it allows for a lot of integration of all of the things that we need. So I think it is really well worth considering Member Jungle. So we're obviously a family centre. We're funded by the Department of Communities, and our sort of overarching brief is to foster connection and participation in community by our community members. We have a primary focus on families, so we run lots of activities where families can be involved together, primarily with under school age children. So we do lots of play groups, we do programs like a cooking program for 3-year-olds, and then we do parenting courses as well. So we'll run programs like Circle of Security or Tuning Into Kids or Protective Behaviours, which are designed to upskill parents. On a wider level, looking at the wider community, we run just any programs that will help people to connect. So, for example, we run the Repair Cafe. If you've heard of repair cafes, where people come and bring their broken stuff, and we have volunteers who fix it up for them, and they have a cup of tea together and all that kind of thing. And it's just, encouraging connection. And then we've got interest groups like leatherwork and Tai Chi. We have a Lego club for school-age children. Really trying to follow interests in town and enable people to connect. So our memberships we took on pen and paper and kept in the filing cabinet, and then we would use Excel to collate information for reporting. There was a lot of manual counting and just paper-based record keeping. And then I was using things like Try Booking or Eventbrite, things like that, to manage our events. We were chasing up, when people hadn't paid their memberships, we were chasing that up individually by email and by letter. So what I was looking for at the time was a sort of as complete a solution as we could, so that I didn't have to keep using 6 different apps, just one for each different thing, and so that we could move away from paper-based stuff. We did, when the old manager was here, we did actually commission a small company to try and write us the software, but it was too big a job from scratch, and that sort of, they did it, but it didn't really provide us the solution that we wanted. So I looked at quite a few different client management software packages and things like that, but a lot of them were much more sales based so it felt like they weren't really written with what we needed in mind. And Member Jungle really was the only one that seemed to be targeted at community organisations like ourselves, and seemed to fit that whole, seemed to tick a lot of the boxes. And this is another thing that I like about Member Jungle, is I feel like it's not like someone's just written a software package and put it out and then it's going and it doesn't develop. I feel like it's always in development, and I think that's really important. And so I had sort of come across from Eventbrite and other apps like that, And within the events module in Member Jungle, it wasn't quite as, it didn't work as well for us, and mainly because that it didn't have the recurring events. So every time, like we have Monday play groups that run for 40 weeks a year, and I would have to go in and clone each one individually, and then I'd have to do Tuesday play groups, and then I'd have to do Wednesday play groups, and then I'd have to do Little Chefs that goes every Wednesday, and it was really, really time consuming and really, really boring, to be honest. It was very so that was so I requested that recurring events through the request a feature. It's fantastic. I have suggested, I think, just one tweak that I would really like to see in there, but generally it's really great because I've now programmed to the end of the year, and I can do it in one big hit. And then if I just want to change one thing about one of those events, I can change it for the whole year instead of having to go back into every single event and just change. Absolutely loving it. I'm so grateful that they have done that, because it's helped us no end. I think the app was probably the biggest surprise, because when I hadn't really, all other things I was specifically looking for. I wasn't specifically looking for an app. But all of our parents say once we get them to download it and use it, it's much easier than going onto your browser and doing stuff. And then you've got that little feature where you can send notifications out via the app. So, for example, if I've been late with my marketing and I just think, oh my goodness, I've got this program tomorrow and I haven't got money signed up to it, I can just send out the notification via the app and they all get it pinged into their app. And sometimes that just encourages a few late signups for us. So I think that's probably been the most. There's loads of good things I could talk about. Some of them I expected. So, for example, automatic reminders to pay your memberships. I kind of knew that was going to be a feature. It was one I really, really wanted. So that's been great, but I kind of knew about it, so it wasn't a surprise. Whereas the usefulness of the app and the ease of use that the parents find has been a good surprise.